You're making me nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I'm fucking nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Thank you. Hey everybody, this is Rob Zobski from Zobski Design. I'm coming to you live from the Buffalo Business and Banter podcast. I'll be speaking with local entrepreneurs to find out their mindsets, winning strategies, what makes them tick, and why they love our city.
Here we go. Blast off, folks.
It's Rob Zobski from Lit 716 and Zobski Design. I'm your host of the Buffalo Business and Banter podcast. I'm here with Melinda from Underground Blo, the Rebellious Hip Hop Heels dance company. Did I say that wrong?
No, you didn't. You said it
All
perfect.
right. So we're going to get into it right now. Let's go. Melinda, great to have you in here today.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming. Tell me about yourself. I found you let me start that again. You're making me nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I'm fucking nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Thank you. We just met tonight. I've been following you for a little while. Why don't you tell the audience what Underground Blo does and why you love what you do?
Okay, well, that question is pretty lengthy. I started Underground Blo because I moved back to Buffalo from Los Angeles. And my transition back, West Coast and East Coast are so different. And it was really difficult for me to adjust my lifestyle and my career. And really, this was a total passion project for me. And it turned out to be a business very quickly. And I'm thankful for it. But it really was just a passion project. I came here with this crazy momentum of like, hey, how do I get an artist community or even like an entertainment industry going here?
Right.
How do I have a career for myself? Because if nobody knows who I am, I work in the entertainment industry as a host, dancer, model. I would love to get into acting. I've not acted yet. And I work in production. So when I came back here, I had no career, had no hobbies going on, had no, I didn't really know the city because I was from the South Towns and I moved into the actual city. And when I moved away originally, I was 20. I didn't know Buffalo. I knew the South Towns. That's not Buffalo. So I just had a lot thrown at me. And, I am a person who gets things done and I like to move and make things happen. So I say the story all the time, but I went to Barbados and sat my ass on a beach for 6 days, smoked weed, did some shrooms, and needed to really focus my life and give myself some answers. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Did I make the right choice to come back to Buffalo? Mm-hmm. Or should I go back to something like New York or LA and continue my career?
And what year was this?
This is 2021 that I came back here.
Okay.
I left Buffalo originally in 2014. So I was like a kid in my eyes, and I came back and I was like, oh, this is not the same Buffalo that I remember. And I'm not the same person either. I went through so much growth and in life, I got to just live. And I think the fact that Buffalo didn't change at all was the major impact for me. I left and I experienced so much, and I came back here and I was like, whoa, there's the same stuff is going on, like the same stuff.
Right.
And if anything, things have actually been taken away. I think due to COVID, though, I'm going to blame it on COVID. But I was just desperately looking for an artistic community, a career path, and also the main structure of the Underground Girls are this very like rebellious, taboo aesthetic. We look like a kink dominatrix group, and that's the whole point. It's my passion project of me coming back to this small town, small-minded ways, conservative ways, and just me going F off, like my passionate, expressive vomit in an art form. That was it. But then I realized that a lot of women had that exact same mindset. And I think they naturally, like when they watched what my original group of girls, like they were most of my friends that I was just like, yo, you guys want to do this with me? This is what I want to do. In the original like local talent showcase that I created in Christmas night of 2021. After people watched that, they were very gravitated towards wanting to do that. They were inspired by that power, because it's not a local burlesque troupe, but it's not like an amateur dance company. It's, I train these girls as if they are going for a union job. I treat them like union dancers, even though they aren't.
Well, I saw some of the photos from the Witches Ball that you guys were at. And I was contemplating going, but I've had so much going on in the office here. I opted not to. And then I saw the photos. I was like, oh, shit, I should have went.
We definitely put a good, big, thick staple in the Witches Ball. And it was awesome. I mean, the event coordinators came up to me. I have a thing that when I do an event, I don't like to party at that event. So once I'm done, I wrap up and I thank who I have to thank and I get out of there. Mm-hmm. And I thanked her, and she's like, I need to book you guys for next year. She right then and there, she's like, you are all over social media. You guys are like the coolest talent that we've ever brought. And it's true. Buffalo doesn't really have a dance company. There's not, there's nothing. This business that I made, no one has anything like it. I even like when I'm working with my insurance people, like it took weeks and so many different teams to even understand and insure what I'm doing, because no one has done this before. I'm literally creating a completely new concept of a business for
That's
Buffalo.
great.
Yeah, I love it. It's, oh my God.
Well, yeah, when I first ran across your page, I didn't even know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is going on here? And I need to know more. But
that's what most people are very curious and confused. And it's okay, because again, this didn't start off with, I didn't come in with a business plan. I wasn't like, hey, I'm coming back to Buffalo and, this is my this is my business plan. I was coming back to Buffalo in like a panic. And I'm very open about speaking about depression. Side note and side life of mine, I'm a health coach. So I love talking about mental health and all those things. But
is that where the mushrooms come in? Or
yes, absolutely. Yes. I was really depressed when I came back here. I was just the transition was so hard for me. So that whole like me escaping Buffalo for a bit, sitting my butt the closest to the equator I possibly could. And just like getting some, forcing myself to realize what I needed to realize. And what it was I need to go back home and do it. I need to stop sulking. I need to create what I want. If I want to be in Buffalo, which I'm choosing to be in Buffalo because my family's here, and life has made me want to be with them more than be in LA. Basically because of COVID as well, though, too. COVID, LA, things got a little weird. That's a different story. Anyways, yes. But I needed to figure out like, okay, what are you going to do? Because this is what you are choosing to do. Oh, okay, great. Melinda, you have to go do it yourself. Go do it. And then I literally I created the whole show while I was in Barbados. I kept listening to this one song, which is my finale song of the show, over and over. And I had all these visuals of UCLA. It's a remix. Which is ironic because I come from LA. But come to the show to find out what it really is. That's when you'll really know. But yeah, no, I had no business plan. And now I think that's why people are a little confused curious and confused, because I am going with it as it comes to me. So I'm figuring out, I'm a creative. I've never gone into business. I am now stepping into teaching myself how to run a business. I've never ever in my life thought I would own a business, let alone two now. And that is what a lot of my time in Buffalo has been, is getting more into being a businesswoman. and calling myself a businesswoman, which is very cool. Cause I've never, even with my business manager, she's like, okay, so how do we monetize on this? And I was like, excuse me, can you like maybe just define monetize? Cause like, I'm a little confused on that. As a creative, we don't make money on the things that we do, you know?
Well, yeah, that's the hard part. Cause I'm the same way. Like I'm an artist. I make my life art. Everything I do is art. So like I was telling you earlier, everything's coming together. Everything's beautiful, and I'm blessed because everything I've been doing, making my life art, is coming back to me sevenfold with some monetary values attached, which is a good feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now I'm learning how to take my creative side and monetize it, which I've just never done. I've always, there's such a conversation in that when it comes to the education of financial independence in like any sort of entertainer, you know, we're not really, the entertainment industry is a hustle and it's so hard. And like I said, this is a whole other conversation itself. But when I came over here back to Buffalo, I had to, you know, people do almost everything for free when it comes to the arts and create, like literally trade or free. What is that? Is that for free or was that trade?
I did a ton of free shit for these guys.
Totally.
I mean, a lot of it was just for myself.
Yeah.
Because I love hip hop and I wanted to get noticed.
Yeah.
But I still do things for free. But free things can lead to bigger things as long as you're not undervaluing yourself. You got to play it properly. Like you got to use stepping stones. So you do free work to get in with somebody, and then once they value you, then they should pay you.
Correct.
Though there are cases where people will just use you up or find the other guy willing to do it for free.
Yes.
So there's navigation in there.
Yes.
But I thoroughly recommend. I've only shot 7 podcast episodes, and probably 3 of them we're talking about doing free work because I believe it works as long as you put an end to it when there should be an end to it, and say, listen, going forward, these are my prices. You know my quality.
Correct. It's about understanding your rate and knowing you have a worth. And that is something that creativity is so vulnerable and delicate. And I think that everybody develops their creativity from whatever. Mine comes from trauma. My source of expression in any sort of entertainment is totally based from anything trauma wise, right? And that's where like I create like the emotions or the ability to portray an emotion or whatever, or even if something, you know, whatever. It's from me. And that's just me though. Everyone has their own version of that. And because of that, you get all of these different creatives and you have to kind of gauge like why they're doing this. Did they figure out that they have a rate and a worth yet, you know, or are they still in that I'm just an expressive person, you know, I'm only doing this to help me, you know? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. There's all sorts of characters out there.
Yes. And so, and in Buffalo, because there is no base yet for entertainment, there is mildly. I mean, I'm not like, honestly, when I was in LA, I got flown back here to work. So there is work here, you know? And even I have friends coming in to shoot random Hallmark movies. And I think things like, you know, the Buffalo Bills and like some of like that are getting more higher, like the Hollywood scene. Yes. And like there are some things are bringing more and more and more popularity to Buffalo, but overall it's not here. And because it's not here, like we're not in Atlanta. We're not a place that we have a go-to production, you know, studio where people will come in and out, host, shut down the city, shoot whatever. That's not regular yet. And because it's not regular, people don't understand that it's a career. You know, people don't have the opportunity to train to, it's almost like school. Like you go to college, you get the internship where you work for free because you do have to do that free work. Like you do, I totally agree with you. Like free work is awesome, When I was 18 in Buffalo, I did free work forever, but then I went to Toronto and then I went to New York and then I went to LA, and all of that was work because I put in my free time somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if you Buffalo free work, but there's no work,
right? How
do you compartmentalize, like, okay, this is still just creative, passion, fun work versus like, okay, I'm growing, I'm training and growing to create a worth and a rate. Right. For what work though? You know, for what work? Like,
yeah, well, I still struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah.
Not that. So for me, my background is art. I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. I took 3D animation, multimedia. Like I took like one video course, one photography course. Wanted a job in video games, came home, wasn't good enough. I did get some bigger freelance gigs, like at Rite Aid, and I had something on the History Channel, like an animation. But really, there was nothing here. Yeah. And I had to find my own lane. So I opened a vape shop. That failed after a couple years, but I did all my own marketing. Mm-hmm. You know, I got back into photography. I got into the video work. Then I moved into 3D printing because 3D animation was my background from college. So I got into 3D printing. That didn't quite work out. I still do 3D printing for anybody that needs 3D printing. But all that got me back into video and photography. Yeah. And I've always been a camera guy. I was like, always had a camera. And I was a dude making the first edited videos for all my friends. I'd take all the photos, I'd put music behind them, edit them, make them funny. This, 20 something years ago, way back in the day. So I was always like the camera guy, video guy. Mm-hmm. And now I'm into cartoons, I'm into 3D animation, I'm into film. I was director of marketing for a couple companies for years, so I got a marketing background. So all the marketing's covered. Now I'm launching different brands, and I'm working on 10 million things at once, but it's all creative.
Yeah.
It's all art.
They all do go together, even though there's a million things.
Yes.
Creativity does, like anything in the arts. That's why I say I'm in the entertainment field. Like, because even when we, you were doing all this, like I work in, in LA, what I mostly did, because if you work in the entertainment industry, you get it. Like you have to just go job to job and they're random and you don't know when they come and whatever. But production is always really good to get into because it keeps you on set. It's pretty consecutive if you're good. Mm-hmm. And you learn everything, like once you are in the production side, you get to learn it all. And if you really are an entertainer and creative, like you kind of want to learn it all and be in it. Everything. So I get it. Like all of it goes together. Like even though if you're like, oh, I'm a DP, but like you're a DP who could probably also grip and maybe I don't know, maybe direct or step in for a double of somebody and then also help out editing or maybe lights or it all goes together.
Anything you can learn is going to help you
in the creative entertainment side. It all goes together.
Yeah. Totally. For me, I've done everything. Music videos. I love music videos because it's like a mini movie.
Oh yeah,
especially people that want to make something and put into work, like a run and gun music video. I'm not too into those. I don't shoot too many music videos anymore.
No.
But if you're a great artist, especially, and I love your music, I'm more inclined to work with you at a cheaper rate. But I want somebody that's going to put in the work to make it a kick-ass music video. Let's take the day, not an hour, not a half hour. Let's take a day, shoot multiple locations and make it a mini movie.
Yeah, that was one of my dreams, and it still totally could be, but it's not as much anymore because the music industry is just, when you live in LA, you learn a lot. Okay. And all of my big dreams that I had, I got big reality checks of what it really is. And the lust or whatever, the excitement of me wanting to do it has died out, and I don't really want to do as much, but I really wanted to be a director for music videos. Like I used to listen to music all the time and just like write out the entire concept of the video that I thought. And me being a dancer, obviously Michael Jackson is my God. And, and, all of his music videos being movies were always really inspiring to me. Like,
yes.
Like Thriller, like, I mean, that's a classic and, but it is so good. I think it's like 15 minutes. I don't even know how long Thriller is, but the whole concept of that and just really getting the story and the emotional attachment really quickly, and then allowing the music to also inspire you, and then just it all coming together it's really impactful. Going back to like,
it can be when done right. Yes.
Yeah, like going back to Underground, like Underground was a passion project to express an emotion. My main thing in life is to express emotions and to get like a big thing for me. I already said it for directing music videos, but I really want to be a director. I'm a leader. I really want to direct.
Yeah. Me too.
Very, very much so.
It'll happen.
It's totally. And I think like the main drive of that is so people will go to my movies and they will leave, feeling different. That is a big reason why I like survived in life, is because I watched movies and allowed the emotions from those movies to like really embody me, and for me to change my mindset in certain things, or even for like a moment like of happiness and like imaginary delusional life, like like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, man, they saved my life with their crazy. I know their life's a little messed up now from it, but like all of their movies as a young girl, I got to really like go with that fantasy world of what do they do? Go to Paris or whatever, like their little corny thing is. And as corny as Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen is, it's the simplicity that you change somebody's life in the positive way. Like you did something, you impacted. And that's like what life is all about. And I think that's what creatives at the end of the day are trying to do, is trying to, make waves in humanity on the emotional side. And it's just something that maybe isn't talked about enough, like it's maybe
definitely not.
Yeah. Maybe we don't talk about how like actually important, arts, music, shows, movies are to humanity. I think we like
the good ones.
Yeah,
it's to say what's good.
Yeah,
when you say that, I think of the powerful movies, like
I think of everything. Because you gotta think about like the 11-year-old girl, or like the 12-year-old boy too, or like the 78-year-old, like every demographic is gonna watch something and have a different impact from it. So like everything's important, like everything, even if it's like VeggieTales to like Great Gatsby. Like everything's really, as long as it leaves some sort of impact on you and it's changing humanity in some sort of way, like that is insane. That should be the
goal.
That's insane. Yeah.
That should definitely be the goal.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why the music industry is so intense, because they realize what music can do. They had to get some high up people to take control of that, because that's real.
Yes. I don't like where that control is headed, but that's a different conversation.
We don't have to go into that conversation.
Let me. So, all right, folks, I got an emergency phone call. We got to cut this podcast short.
First of all, thank you for having me. I know this was short and sweet, but we'll come back and talk way more, because we didn't even really get to cover like anything, but we will. If you guys are curious about Underground Blo, follow us on Instagram, Underground_Blo. This is with Underground Blo girls and all different types of local Buffalo talent. So every ticket is supporting local talent in the artistry of Buffalo. So please come and support. Even if you can't come, buy a ticket and support anyways, because Buffalo needs a little bit of support with our art. That's it.
All right, everybody. Rob Zopsky signing off from the Buffalo Business and Banter podcast. Shout out to the sponsor of this episode of the podcast, So Buffalo by Design. Got my nice So Buffalo by Nature. Excellent embroidery quality over there. They are the best. If you're a designer and you need something embroidered or silkscreen, go hit them up. They make it easy for you. Even if you don't think you're a designer and you have an idea, the artist over there will take care of it and get you custom clothing, perfect fit, and awesome designs. But Rob Zobski, Zobski Design, and Lit 716. Go to lit716.com and pick up the merch. I'm going to be dropping new merch just in time for December and Christmas, so see you there. Peace. Fuck, I didn't even get to.
I know, because I feel like we could talk forever about like.
I'll have you on again.
Oh yeah, I'll talk to you.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I just got an emergency phone call. I gotta go.
I like that you took that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take that.
So all right.